Greetings all, Frog here. It's time for the Friday update from the pond. Welcome, bienvenue, greetings, hello, hi. It's been a good week, actually. It feels really good. It is Thursday. It's in the afternoon when I'm recording this because I am off work for the next 4 days. It is a beautiful thing. Actually, 5 days, right? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, 5 more days. I don't go back to work until Tuesday because there is a convention in town, as you know. I've been talking about it a little bit. Buckeye Game Fest. You can go to buckeyegamefest.com, of course. I am not sponsored by them in any way, shape, or form. I am just a member of the Board Gaming Society that happens to sponsor this convention. So it's kind of the other way around. And that is where we are right now. Is this music loud? I can't figure out if this music is loud. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit because I feel like it might be loud. It's louder than it needs to be anyway. That's too not loud enough. There we go. About 40%. That's good. It's supposed to be background, right? Not foreground music. It's louder than the jazz mix. Kind of crazy. This is music taken from CK2, by the way. The Game Fest is awesome, but you know, a lot of people like me, for instance, starting tonight, stay up until like 2 or 3 in the morning, and so they don't do anything. They don't get there until, you know, around dinner time. And there's some people that still have to work, right? They're not as lucky as I am to be able to get time off of work to go to this local game festival. So I figured, you know what, let's record a little bit during the day, and we'll try it out. Unfortunately, at soccer last night, I tweaked a little bit of business, actually a little groin pull and the knee, it turns out. And so I will not be refereeing tonight, which is unfortunate because I would like the extra income, but you got to keep the body healthy, you know what I mean? And I tried to jog a little bit this morning, and it didn't go well, so that's not going to happen. But hopefully by next week, that will be fixed, because there's still another 10 matches for the season that I have yet, and I could pick up more if I really wanted to, but I'm not going to. We're just going to leave it right there. That's my life, so but it feels good. So I'm probably going to record in the morning for the rest of these days and try and get ahead, so that way next week is done, and I'm not playing catch up the entire week, because I also have to catch up at work. So there you have it. You can see these 3 Bob's mods. They're actually done. They're rendered. I just have to upload them, and I just forgot to do it. I thought I had done it 2 days ago, because that's how long these have been done, but I completely forgot. So I will get those uploaded. Don't worry, you will see all of this stuff. But look at this. It's all done. All right, this week is finished. And you'll notice we had a successful live stream on Wednesday. I streamed for 4 hours, 3 hours and 55 minutes, I think, which is a little disingenuous, because the first 5 minutes I turned the stream on early, so that way it would be ready. Because I think if the stream's not on, this isn't like Twitch. It's not like my live chat channel is always open. You have to be streaming for it to be open. So start the chat a little early, put up a coming soon placard, and Bob's your uncle, right? So that's kind of what I was doing there. If you haven't stopped by the live stream, let me do this here real quick. I'm going to do, so you can check these out. That's what that looks like. We're not actually back soon here, but you can see that. I've got a whole bunch of them coming up. So we've got some title cards going on, which I'm very excited about. This is different than On Break, right? So those are just some examples of what I'm trying to do for streaming, just to get the streaming stuff going on, right? We are streaming at 720p, not 1080, because that's what the software essentially, not the software, but my internet connection can handle. But I think it was still very successful. This week we started with some Ludum Dare games, which is one of them actually. We played Quill 18's Hell Wars 18, and it's got a subtitle, but I don't remember what it is. Next week we're going to play 2 different Ludum Dare games that kind of hit my trek. I went through the first 15 pages of games first, and there's 24 games on a page, so that's what, 360 games. So we went through the first 360 games out of the 2,700 that were submitted, and 2 of them crossed my eye that also happened to work for Linux. I haven't played them yet, but I will be installing them, and we're going to be trying them out on next week's stream, which we'll talk about when that is. So we started with the Ludum Dare, which is good. Played a little Binding of Isaac. That did not go so well in terms of my ability, but if you've seen the videos, you know that. It is getting better. Day by day, it gets better, but that was some rough loss. Then we started to play CK2. We randomed a ruler, and that went fantastically horrible, not through any part of mine, but because we were an OPM in the what will become the Holy Roman Empire, but it was East Francia. We were in East Francia, and my liege demanded my title, and I couldn't fight against the king of East Francia, so that was done. And then we played some Europa Universalis 4, which we're going to start an Oirat campaign. So we played through, I don't know, the first 10, 15 years maybe of the Oirat campaign. And I think we're going to stream that. That'll be part of the stream. It'll be a regular segment, because that's what I want to do, is I want regular segments. So next week we're going to do Ludum Dare, then it'll be followed by, I always do that, Ludum Dare, followed by EU4, which is our Oirat campaign. And in the Oirat campaign, we're not doing an achievement run. It's just for the stream. So I think what might be fun is we're going to try and take over China. So to take over Ming and basically own everything east of where we start. Basically. I'm not 100% sure about that, but that's what we're going to try and do. And then after that, we ended with some GeoGuessr. We played a Sweden map because somebody said, well, let's play in Scandinavia. Is there any map for that? Well, of course, there's Sweden because that's where the game was created, so there is a Sweden map. And then we played a 3-minute world challenge real quick just to call in the night. We called it a night. 4 hours. It was pretty good. I'm not going to stream for 4 hours, I don't think, the next time. But we're definitely going to have another stream. We're going to do it weekly. And after discussion with the people that were still here in chat and then looking at my own personal schedule, we're going to do Tuesdays. So it'll be Tuesday night. So if you look in the next week's schedule, which is here, you can see that I've recorded some stuff. We'll talk about that in a second. But the live stream will be on Tuesday. So I think that's what we're going to do. 9 p.m. or 8 p.m., I'm still kind of flowing back and forth. So don't think this 9 p.m. is set in stone. It might start 8, just to make it a little earlier, to make it easier for some of my East Coast people that want to watch. So that way you're only up until 11, and then you can still go to bed, go to school, go to work tomorrow, the next day, whatever. So I think it'll be 8 to 11. I'm not entirely certain. There are no major streamers that I watch that would interfere with that, but there's streaming every day, every hour, so there you go. But that's the next planned stream, will be that. I'm still debating having a streamed board game night kind of thing, but that would be a separate event, so I don't know if I want to start a second stream right off the bat, especially because the people I would want to stream board game night with may not want to stream on YouTube, because they're Twitch people, right? So we'll have to see. My friend Lightbringer, who we talked about maybe collaborating with, which again will happen in the future. It's probably a month out at this point. I might be able to talk him into coming by a stream also, because we could play some board games off of Vassal. So maybe play a board game night with him, even if he doesn't want to play like EU4 or if we want to do binding runs or whatever. So we might stream some things instead of just like working on videos, because that might be easier to fit into the schedule. Certainly for him, because he won't have to commit to, well, I mean, we don't have to do a full 7-episode spread of multiplayer, but you know what I mean. So we'll do that. So this week is done. Next week, that's what we're looking at. The live stream was awesome. Thanks to everybody who came in and at least stopped by a little bit. Insert Country Here was there. Someone from Geelong was there. We picked up a new subscriber. Matthew was there for a while, but then had to go to sleep because he had to go to school. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if we started earlier, that might not be an issue. We picked up a Colombian. I can't remember your name offhand. Oh, it's frustrating. I do apologize for that. But if you're watching this, know that I am thinking of you. It starts with a J. Antas? I don't remember. I'm so sorry. But thank you for sticking around. He's talking about getting some publicity and getting people out there, so I appreciate that. You know, the more that we share, the more the likes and subscriptions and all that, the more we can get people around to hang out and enjoy. And hopefully the regular streaming time will do that. So we're streaming, again, like I said, Tuesdays, probably at 8 o'clock. I just have it at 9 o'clock right now because it's set up to be every 3 hours something goes live. So if you missed the stream from this week, that is available online in its 4-hour entirety thanks to YouTube. They automatically create backups of those. So it took, I don't remember exactly how long it took to process, but I think it was done within an hour, if not sooner than that, after the stream was over. So that's a pretty cool thing. What else for the stream? I'm going to try and do a new animated like intro type of thing. I mean, just to get a little what have you. I was looking, or not looking, but I want to have like an intro music and an outro music that are consistent, again, because I like consistency. If you keep that consistency, then people know what they're getting. It's why franchises work. It's why when you go into a McDonald's, you know exactly what you're going to get at McDonald's. That's why they work, and so that's what I'm trying to do with consistency. And so I think the intro is going to be the same track that I'm using from, I think, DJ Funk. That is, no, it's Mark II. That is the same that's on the channel trailers. So there's, again, you're tying it all in together, right? It's all about branding. And then the outro, I've discovered just on accident, Beer Belly Blues, I think makes for a really good, outro. It's about 3.5 minutes long. So it's just the right amount of time to do an outro talking about it. And it's got that kind of end of night, hey, we're going to go out and grab a drink before we go home kind of feel to it, right? So I think it fits in well. I'm going to add to the jazz layout this week, the jazz playlist, if you will, before we start playing some not Binding of Isaac. I just saw it on my screen. I looked up and read the word. Before we start playing some GeoGuessr, so that way there's more variety for me. And then I could take Beer Belly Blues out of that, so it becomes my intro/outro for the show, which is just Purple Frog Live, where Purple Frog plays live. If you could think of a better name, then we could go with it. But I'm kind of just happy with PFP Live. It's simple. It fits the theme. It fits the brand. And so we're gonna run with it for now. But again, I'm open to suggestions. It's the community involvement. So next week, here's the schedule. You've been looking at it for a little bit. You can see I have already recorded all of EU4 and Binding of Isaac, because that's what I did today. And I will probably record Efficient Factorial tomorrow, and Bob's Mods on, for you today. So anyway, I'm going to record Efficient Factorial on Friday, Bob's Mods on Saturday, CK2 on Sunday, and then that just leaves GeoGuessr. So I don't know. Monday, right? I'll at least record one GeoGuessr episode on Sunday, or we won't have anything to play on Monday. But I have nothing. The conference is done on Monday. Monday is a completely fresh day off. I use it because I like to stay up late, and then that helps me reset my sleep schedule, and I could just laze about and not have to worry. Also on Monday, though, I'm going to make sure that I clean some stuff up around the house, just to make the wife happy, because, if Mrs. Frog is upset, then it's not a good place to be. Although I do like it. Who called her the Purple Frog Princess? I can't remember. I like that because one of the things that I like about the Purple Frog brand, and I've had the Purple Frog brand for 15 years now, actually, is that PFP. I like that. So when I was thinking about streaming, I'm like, well, I'm Purple Frog. What could I possibly do? Plays. Perfect. Purple Frog Plays. It works out fine. The original company was Purple Frog Productions. Purple Frog Press was when I was doing my music publishing and website design for musicians. And now we're at Purple Frog Plays. It's PFP, so if she's the Purple Frog Princess, then it's also PFP. I like that. I don't know if she would like that or not. She'd probably laugh at it, but we'll see. She'll be home here in about 45 minutes. I can ask her. That's another nice thing, is that, I could stream or record all day long because she's not here. She actually has to work. So I don't feel guilty about recording, which sometimes happen when she's home. She doesn't mind because she likes playing her Minecraft and doing everything else to kind of unwind from the day at work. So it works out well. And then if she works early on a day like today, she was into the office at 6 in the morning. So she went to bed really early. So the fact that I was streaming last night, no big deal. All right. So it works out well. She might be on the stream a little bit. She's mentioned some of it to maybe come in when we're playing GeoGuessr, just to kind of hang out and say hello. She's a little shy. So if she does come in, be supportive, say hello, be nice, don't be all creepy, or I'll have to bash you over the head. If I could figure out how to use YouTube's chat moderation tools. Because that's the biggest problem I have with YouTube live streaming, I think, is the chat is not intuitive. It's not at the level of Twitch, right? And it's not run on an IRC client, so you can't do the same things with bots on YouTube that you can with Twitch, unless you can do it now and just nobody's told me. I don't know. But we'll figure all that out. It's not like we have a lot of people anyway, right? It's not that hard for me to moderate my own channel when the maximum viewership at any given time is like 10. So we'll see when we get up to hundreds and thousands of viewers, if that matters. But the only way to get there is with a consistent schedule. So that's your Tuesday schedule. In GeoGuessr, we're not having anything special planned this week. So we'll just, if anyone submits a user challenge, there's still time. Because like I said, I'm not going to record GeoGuessr until later. So there's time to submit user challenges if you want to do that. And if you don't, that's perfectly fine. I'll find plenty of things to play. Probably some World 3-minute challenges. I might take a crack at the perfect score again here around episode 140 or something. I'm not entirely certain. Efficient Factorial will be going as planned, as per normal, and we're going to continue with a lot of thinking on screen. I believe me, I'm doing thinking off screen too, so if you don't like the slow pace of that, I completely understand. Like I've said many times, that type of pacing is not for everybody, and that's quite all right, because there are people who do like it. So if you like it, keep hanging out with me, and we'll figure out these problems together. But I think we're doing a pretty good job at figuring them out at this point. We're going to have our full compiler for the first 26 items done in no time. So Zombie Kitten made what I assume to be some sort of joke, or I don't know. I can't tell if you're being disparaging or not, Zombie Kitten. Seriously, So if you actually are trying to be nice and helpful, then that's cool. But if you're being disparaging, then, kind of back off a little bit. But I could take it. It's no big deal. It's just kind of like, come on, we're trying to build a positive, happy community here. But I'm going to take it as that he was being a joking manner, just to kind of, express that he doesn't like the slow-thinking version of Factorial, which is fine. So we've got Bob's Mods. And he joked, well, going through to do the obsessive level of planning that I'm doing on efficiency would be like somebody on Bob's Mod putting everything on a main bus. And the joke was, that, I could do that too. And he said, well, at least you'd be doing something instead of planning on screen. And the more I've been thinking about it, I don't want to put everything on a main bus because I'd have to start over. I don't have the space for it. But what I could do is put everything on a Megatrain. So the Megatrain's been done before. Stejo's done it. Bentham has done it, who's at Mangled Port Gaming. They've both done their Megatrain. But neither of them have done it with Bob's Mods. And there's a lot of stuff that you could put on the train, especially considering that Bob's Mods lets you bottle every gas and barrel every liquid. So you could put bottles and barrels of the gases and liquids onto the train as well. So I think that might be actually our goal for Bob's Mods, because with Bob's Mods we've just been playing. There has been no real goal other than get through the science. So I kind of feel like now the goal is to expand in a disgustingly large manner and create a Megatrain with every item on the train. So that might be a little insane, but I'm going to try it. That's the goal, I think. So that'll be Bob's Mods. CK2, we're going to keep playing the Magyar until we rule the world. Honestly, that's my goal now with that campaign, is to own everything. And I think it's possible because we have 600 years of gameplay left to make it happen. We already own, I would say, about a quarter of it by landmass. Of maybe a fifth, but we own quite a bit in just 100 years. So we should be able to get the rest of it, especially because you're going to start to snowball, right? As your powers combine, your external powers combine. So, right, we'll let Francia form. We'll let all of them go. We're not going to beat them up. We'll let them beat up on the little guys as we focus on the hordes in the east. And as we do that, the Abbasid is one big country right now. They won't split up until, I think, 1,000 in the game, based on how things go. So we've got some time to let them continue to consolidate their power. Then we'll subjugate them in a war. That will be the next great war, and probably the last really large war. But we'll do subjugation against them. And I think by that point we'll have had Uyghur involved, we'll get Khazaria into our fold, and we'll have all of these provinces that our might will pretty much be unassailable. We might have 6 or 7 clans, and each one of those clan chiefs are going to have 10 to 15,000 people, plus the 20,000 that I have in my retinue, and it's going to just be unstoppable. I think that it's just a matter of time before we have the world conquest. And I've never done one in CK2, so it'll be nice to get that achievement. I don't want to talk about EU4 just because I already know what's happened, but we are continuing with the Poland campaign. Of course, our primary goal is to get Poland into space, which is Tech 32 on everything. And I think we've got a really good start to that. We've got the Western arms trade going on. We've got reduced the 2 idea groups that will lead to reduced tech cost, which is good. We'll be able to westernize pretty easily with Danzig and everything, so that's all good. I think that's definitely possible. The extraneous goals of dismantling the HRE, I think that's also possible. We're on a good footing for that. It might be a little bit tougher, but that's fine, because the primary goal is the 32 tech all the way around, and I think that's definitely going to be good. It's going well. Again, I don't want to spoil what's happening on those 3 episodes, but I think it's going well. And that's really all I've got today. No other updates inside or outside of life. That's everything that's going to happen on the channel. My next break from work and everything won't be until October, and that break will be in the middle of the week, so it probably shouldn't affect the channel at all. It just, if you email me or something, or private message me during those 3 days, I'm not going to answer, because we're doing a no technology sort of thing on our mini pre-anniversary vacation, because our anniversary is in November, but that's tougher for her to get time off because she works in retail, and so, the earlier in the year is easier. So we're going to go in October and just spend a 3-day, 2-night kind of couples retreat up in Frankenmuth, Michigan, actually. If you've never been to Frankenmuth, you really should if you have the opportunity. It's kind of a little Bavaria. It's a little cheesy, right? Because that's just sort of how it is. But At the same time, I like it. I think it's kind of cool. Really good fried chicken if you go to Zender's. I mean, really good fried chicken. And their chicken noodle soup is also very good. And good cheeses, as you'd expect. There's a decent fudge shop up there. And believe it or not, there's like kind of a mini indoor water park. If you go during the summer months, it's not as crowded, for one. And then two, you've got plenty of golf opportunities around the area and things to do outside. We're probably going to take a horse carriage ride, which you can do. There's an old country store. There's an old country mill. What else is up there? Bronner's, obviously, the world's largest Christmas store. I think it's a mile long, something like that. It's open 363 days a year. 361 days a year, excuse me. And that's part of why the crowds get insane when you get later in the year. One, because they have a really good Oktoberfest, which will be after we're there, but we did that on purpose because it gets really, really busy. And we found a great deal. I mean, a great deal. We're going to stay at the Bavarian Inn Hotel. Other hotels are available, of course, by the way. There are other chains. None of these people are sponsoring me. I don't have any sort of business relationship with them at all. I'm just a person that loves their product and will talk about it because I have dozens of people listening to this video. And the hotel, the Bavarian Inn, is very good. It's now tied to Zender's. Essentially, they were a family, then they split apart, and now they're a family. I don't know exactly what the history of it all is, but their hotel is very idyllic along the river that goes through the town. I hesitate to call it a city because it's pretty much a town, and it's got a really great rate. I mean, it's basically half off for those 2 nights, and it just happened to be that those 2 nights were really cheap, so that was cool. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. There's mini golf in the hotel, so we might do a little mini golf. I don't know. I like a good mini golf. And there's 3 different pools. No, there's 4 different pools and 2 hot tubs. So we're definitely going to get some advantage out of that, I think, just because, why not? And it'll be a really nice time, a really good vacation. So seriously, get up to Frankenmuth. It's definitely worth it. Another Michigan spot that you want to get to. This is turning into the travel advice. Oh, we're way over time. Sorry. Go up to Fort Mackinac and the Mackinac Island, definitely. We'll talk about that later, though. Maybe sometime on a stream. So I got waxing about Frankenmuth. Who knew it would take me 6 minutes to talk about Frankenmuth? My bad. But that's it. So the update's over. I hope you liked it. If you did, of course, click that like button. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Help share everything around. I hope to see you at the live stream on Tuesday. It's really cool to interact with everybody, even with the 15-second delay. I love having it in, and everybody seems to be really cool and patient with that delay. So it's really cool. I'm really, really glad that we ended up streaming. I was worried we wouldn't be able to until we upgraded our internet, and that would have made me very sad. So that's everything for today. I hope you're having a good one yourself, and until next time, cheers.